Good morning. Oh, it's afternoon, excuse me. This is my first time out today, so I say good morning, but good afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome you in behalf of our mayor and our city council, and especially Councilman Bessie. Where is Councilman Bessie? Right. He's going to have a good time today. He's just jumping with joy. At this time, we will have the video from Mayor Alan Jones. Right.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alan Jones, the mayor of the city of Winston-Salem, and it's my honor to welcome you here to this another exciting event as we add yet another piece of infrastructure that will help us provide better services to the citizens of Winston-Salem. Today, we're cutting the ribbon on our police neighborhood station number 3 here. This is funded by the bonds that were approved by you, the voters, in 2014. You might recall that the voters approved $139 million worth of bonds that has allowed us to do projects like this, fire stations, building recreation and parks facilities, building roads and sidewalks, doing economic development projects, as well as doing housing projects. So I can tell you that there's something over 300 projects that you approved in that bonds, and we're getting those projects done, and you'll see the results throughout the city as we're able to provide better and more efficient services to you, the citizens. Today, we're very excited because public safety is one of the key things that a city government must provide for its citizens, keeping the public safe in their homes, on the streets, and in their places of work. And so having this police neighborhood station right here will allow officers to come here in the morning to begin their duties or at their shift begins. And so there'll be much more activity, more and more people coming in and out of this area, and hopefully we'll provide much better police public safety services for you in this area and really the whole southwestern part of our community. So thank you for being here. Certainly I know that our council person from this area, Councilmember Dan Bessie, is very, very proud of this station. He worked hard on the selection of this site and where it could go and be the most effective. So congratulations to Councilmember Bessie. But again, thank you for being here today, and thank you for supporting the city of Winston-Salem as we address our capital needs.
Thank you. We've heard a little history from the mayor, and we're going to move forward. But before I ask any of the speakers to come up, I want us to see the people who work hard to make a difference for this city. And we know if we didn't have you, the citizens, we would not have our jobs to do. So we were honored to serve you. At this time, I would like to introduce to you and present to some, you already know. Of course, the councilman will be speaking in a few minutes, Councilman Bessie. We also have with us Councilman Larson, Mr. Jeff McIntosh. I want to make sure I've called all the council people names before I go to the next. We have our city manager, Mr. Lee Garrity. We also have with him assistant city manager, Mr. Page, Derek Page. We also have Mr. Greg Turner and Mr. Ben Rao. Some of us know the folks and some of us do not. It's always important for you to know who serves you. We're not going to be out here too long because this is a bad day for the hair. You see this? I also would like to introduce to some and present to others the former Chief of Police, Chief Barrymore, with his wife. We also have our Chief Thompson, and she has with her some staff. Pardon me. Oh, the clerk of courts, Susan Fry. And who else do we have? Just gonna introduce you. Remember what you did the other night, don't you? Okay. We're also always happy to have our district attorney, O'Neill. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill, and thank you, Clerk of Courts Fry, for being here. all of these people in the blue suits, and I know the ones that's the happiest today happen to be Captain Lauder. He's going to talk after a while. I want to make sure I've introduced everybody. We have people from our, they keep pointing the fingers. Am I missing somebody? I saw him. I saw the chairman of public safety, Taylor. We're now going to have invocation, please, by Chaplain Dr. Bill Campbell. And he's the retired police chaplain.
Just tired, not retired.
Oh, no, don't be tired.
This happens to be my 5th dedication. I remember one Sunday afternoon we dedicated Engine 10, then Engine 5, and then Engine 11 on one afternoon. Then we did the public safety building downtown and the central fire station. And this is an excellent speaker system. At those times, I wasn't sure of the speaker system, so today I duplicated my prayer for you to have and take home with you because I was afraid you might not be able to hear. But Ms. Burke and I go back so far,
Is that right?
at least 2 years. And it's,
Oh, no, is it just
And-
two?
in fact, her husband was my son's principal at Cook School many years ago. Pray with me now, if you will. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, be thou our guide while life shall last and our eternal home. As we come today to dedicate this beautiful and much needed facility, our prayer should be that those who work here would never be exposed to danger, but because we know they shall, as well as the citizens who they serve, our prayer must be for your guidance and protection. We sit today in your presence and ask, what is ours to do in the field you have given us to work? Whether that field is large or small, help us to discern it well. Give us the wisdom to know when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to be silent, when and with whom to cooperate, when and whom to resist. Give us the courage to do what you would have us do. For all who lead the police, as well as other city and county and state departments, may we continue to be changed and transformed in the crucible that is the leadership in these days. We ask this for your sake of your love. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Chaplain. I'm going to ask before the councilman from the area come up, because it's going to be his when we finish speaking. Whatever he wants to say or do, this is your board. Chairman Taylor, please come up and make some remarks.
Good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege to bring greetings on behalf of the Public Safety Committee for the City of Winston-Salem. And I can honestly say, as a native son of this community, it's a great time to be in the City of Winston-Salem because of the way we're rethinking how we administer public safety in the City of Winston-Salem. You heard the chaplain tell us that there are a number of facilities that he was here doing ribbon cuttings on. Today, we're here doing a ribbon cutting on the trilogy, to complete the trilogy in the District Police Office concept. To many citizens in this area, this particular District Police Office will reduce police or increase police response times and improve on police and citizen relationships in the community. To me, it means that, but it also means so much more. It shows how the chief, the police department, the citizens, the voters, the elected officials all can come together for a common cause, and that's to improve the quality of life for the people of this community. So I'll say on behalf of the Public Safety Committee, we thank the police officers who will be serving this community, the voters for supporting the bonds that made this all happen. We thank all of you for helping our community to be a better place to live, work, and relax. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember McIntosh and Larson, would you like to come say? No, he's gonna take over. You come on in a few minutes. When we give this mic to him.
It's going to be up for a long time. I will be short. I would simply say that this facility, although we may say it's in the South Ward, just remember that the word South applies to my ward, the South Ward. and that's the ward that's also being served in this District 3. We anchor the eastern edge of this district and are very proud of Captain Louder and his team that are going to occupy this space. It's a long time coming. I would also make one comment that this is an indication of how the city, with its bond money, can leverage development and activity outside of the urban core. And we've talked a lot about, the need to support areas outside of the downtown. Well, this is a perfect example of bringing a service to the citizens in an area, but also look behind you and see the development that's occurring. And I would suggest to you that it directly relates to this effort to provide an anchor, as it were, in a neighborhood area and provide economic stimulation. So we're a win-win-win with this occasion, and I think all the citizens, the police that occupy this space, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in my neighborhood, and I welcome you to the South Ward.
Councilman McIntosh.
Thank you. I think most of what's needed to be said has already been said, but I do want to thank both staff and the police department and the voters for allowing this to happen and really pushing out this concept of community-oriented policing. I think we've seen the benefits of it, but we won't necessarily see that this has been successful other than by the fact that we don't have major occurrences. This is going to be sort of a silent victory going forward. If it works, it'll be benign, it'll be in the background, and we'll know it's working because we are not going to have an increase in crime. So I applaud the policy, and I applaud all the hard work that's gone into this, and thanks to staff, and thank you for all the efforts. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I present your council person, I want to say to Chaplain how much I appreciate you and the work you've done. And I'm going to ask our marketing department to take time to have an interview with the chaplain so he can tell some of the story that some of you don't know about. It's nothing like preserving and keeping your history. If you look around, you see us, and us who are senior citizens, I want you to know that this city is on our shoulders. We have paid taxes, we've been good citizens, and we've been uplifting for this city. So this is a rewarding time as we look at the progress we make, and may God continue to bless us as we continue to move this city forward. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted and honored to present some and introduce the others. The councilman of this great ward, Bessie, and what we left out, didn't put in, make sure you put it in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Burke. You know, I have to remind my new colleague, Councilmember Larson, of course, that this is actually in the Southwest Ward. So welcome everyone to the Southwest Ward, and I want to make a special note. I have been at groundbreakings, at ribbon cuttings for all three of our new facilities, district police stations. I can look out here and I can tell you right off the top of my head that this is the best neighbor turnout I have seen for any of them. If you are a neighbor from this area, please raise your hand and wave. Thank you for coming out today, because without your support, this wouldn't be here. Without your votes, without your taxes, we would not be able to be standing here today and saying we have now completed a key stage of the building out of our public safety infrastructure in Winston-Salem. This is the third of three strategically located district police stations that will be helping to create that seamless network around our city of public safety, quick response and availability. Wouldn't have happened without you. Wouldn't have happened without these gentlemen, the folks that worked with them too. You want to wave to help build this facility. Thank you for coming out today as well. I will speak about the police in just a moment. At 6:30 this morning, the shift started for the daytime shift at the police stations around Winston-Salem, including this one here. In minutes, folks were already out on patrol. One of the things that these strategically located stations do is to reduce the commuting time from the strategically located district station out into the beats. At 6:41, a call came in, robbery involving guns in a business on Stratford Road, just up that way. Folks who were on patrol, who were already out on patrol, both pursued directly through Stratford and had already been out up Somerset Drive, up Jonestown, the backside up to Country Club Road and Old Vineyard, where they helped form a net that caught the perpetrator, or the accused at this point, the accused, who is quickly now then in custody and not out on the street, and able to be processed through our justice system. That's the kind of faster community response that the men and women of our Winston-Salem Police Department are empowered. We save minutes by having the patrols out closer to the field. Thank you for helping to support that happening. You know, as the mayor referenced, the selection of this site was a strategic decision. It's well located in the road network. Retired Chief Barry Roundtree was an advocate for building these district stations and was, closely involved in the site selection as well. Thank you. And, our chief today, Katrina Thompson, will be implementing this plan as it goes forward and helps serve the citizens of Winston-Salem. Thanks again to the voters for making it possible, and thank you to all the men and women of District 3 and the Winston-Salem Police Department around our city for helping to keep us safe and turning these physical facilities into a part of our actual working public safety net. Thank you so much. And now we will get a chance to hear from Captain Christopher Louder, the District 3 Patrol Commander, who is going to be the initial person in charge of overseeing this entire system and making it work. Captain Louder.
Just wanted to take a moment to thank Mayor Pro Tem Burke, Councilmember Taylor, Councilmember Bessie, Councilmember Larson and McIntosh for being here today, Mr. Garrity, City Manager, and his staff. Everybody bringing this together today it's quite an honor to stand up here on October 10th, 2017. Give you a little bit of a history. After this bond referendum passed, my assignment was District 2, which of course is a southeast area of the city. And early on, myself, Chief Roundtree, and Assistant Chief Weaver attended meetings with engineers, with contractors, and believe it or not, we were asked to pick out paint schemes, rug colors, designs of the walls, the furniture, and we're all kind of looking at each other like, we're police officers, sworn law enforcement officers. But as you fast forward, just the vision of the city, I want to thank the city for allowing us to have a hand in what you see today, District 3, District 2, District 1, and making it user-friendly for our men and women that come to work every day, from picking out the furniture, the chairs, the selection, because when you're in this type of uniform and wearing the gear that we wear, it's not easy to sit down sometimes and get up. But the vision of the city, Mr. Garrity and his staff allowing us to be part of that, Mr. Presswood, the city engineer, I want to thank you for that as well. Of course, this is the third office to open. It was made possible by the vision of the elected officials, key city personnel, members of the police department, and overall the support of the citizens. The change, the progress, and moving forward, as we talk about, you've heard Chief Roundtree talk about, Chief Thompson talk about community policing, and what you see here today is a tangible result of community policing, and how ironic is it that Councilmember Bessie can tell you the story. And I'll give a little bit of a pat on the back to the men and women this morning who came in. Today is their Friday. They've been at work since last week, so today they finish up. Well, the supervisors brought in those platoons, those men and women, early. They checked on early to get a jump start to give the midnight shift personnel a little bit of a break. So they were in place, they were in the community, they were on their respective beats, and as Councilmember Bessie said at 6:41 this morning, we get that emergency call. That's another result of us being more effective, more efficient in this neighborhood. And as Councilmember McIntosh said, yes, we don't like for those events to happen, but reality is that they do, and our men and women are prepared and in place to handle those and respond accordingly. BLET Class 72 started yesterday. We have 38 new members. We welcome them at the Beatty Center. It was awesome to see 38 faces in that crowd. And just to piggyback on one of the command staff members yesterday, they talked about what a great time it is to start in law enforcement. And I know you hear the negativity sometimes across the country with police and public relations, but I'm sure as Mayor Pro Tem Burke can tell you, we don't have those issues in Winston-Salem. Do we have work to do? Absolutely, to continue building relationships and working with the community, all members of the community. But we haven't had that civil unrest and disrest in the city of Winston-Salem. And this is another example of why we don't, getting out in front of events and making sure that we're transparent. But I say an awesome time to start in law enforcement. We have state-of-the-art facilities that we're putting our personnel in. The 3 district offices, Special Operations Division building on Polo Road, and the Beatty Center. The training center, the state-of-the-art forensic center. The fire department has some very, very usable space there that they can train and call home now. And those are things that I have not seen in my 23 years with the city. And I'm very proud of that. And again, I want to thank the elected officials for having that vision to put us in those state-of-the-art facilities. In listening to the Public Safety Committee council members in the statement, their statement, they don't put a price tag on public safety. What you see here today with this police district office and the other facilities across the city is tangible proof of that commitment to the citizens of our great city, Winston-Salem. Thank you.
We thank you, Captain Louder. It's just like going into a new home. We heard the excitement in your voice. One thing about this city, the city manager is the kind of city manager who believes that when the staff has something positive to give, he gives them the opportunity to show how creative they can be, how good they can be at what they do. There are a lot of people run a city or manage a city. They manage in like a shell, but he gives the opportunity. So we see a strong staff with the leadership of city manager and his staff. Captain Louder, I do want to know who's going to, do you have any of the people going to be coming into the building out here today?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Let us see your faces, please.
Go ahead and raise your hands, folks.
All right, then. Also, we know media does not always give the right kind of information, but we're very pleased that we have a marketing department to make sure the citizens in this great city receive the kind of information they need, the right information. So, Mr. McNeil and your staff, raise your hand.
You're here.
Appreciate you. Again, before the rain starts coming down, and it may not come down, and if it does come down, it's God's business. And we don't question that.
We're going to cut the ribbon in 3, 2, 1.